Hey, good morning. Well, actually, it's closer to good noontime. So it is Saturday, and me and the R-Man are going to work on finishing up this cabinet. If I can actually get him to do anything other than eat grass. Maybe we'll be able to, maybe we won't. But regardless, we're going to try. So let me get everything set up and we'll get busy on it. Don't worry about me putting this stake in the ground and attaching him to it. I only do it when I'm outside with it. So it's not like I leave him out here attached to it for hours or something. At most he'll be out here 10 minutes without me out here. So don't worry about that. So there's this little flange of, looks like what may have one time been adhesive or paint or something on the side. And there's a couple of nails, and before I get that, before I really start painting, I really got to get that off there. So we'll be working on that a little bit. And I've just got a chisel. I don't even know if it's the right tool. Just what I had. Looks like it might be caulking because it's coming off pretty easy. What do you know? Maybe I did grab the right tool. Who did that do? Oh, it's a nail in there somewhere. Maybe I nailed it in. I don't know. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece of finished plywood, cut it out, and mount it right here before we start doing anything. Since this is a kind of an unfinished surface, we want to go ahead and get that done. What I have here is I have the dimensions I've already measured out of that side and try to get everything like it's supposed to be. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take these dimensions and translate them to this board. Then we're going to use a circular saw and cut the board out. Alright, well, I hope that this fits there. If it doesn't, I guess we'll need to do something else. Maybe it will. I hope so. Alright, so I've got it set up on its edge here, and you can actually look and see how rough that this side is a little bit. That's the reason we're having to put another piece of wood on top of it. Hopefully, if I have everything done correctly, it should, that piece of wood should pretty much sit on there kind of flush. If it doesn't, I'll just, I'll make it up as I go. Which is pretty much what I do anyway. Alright, well you can see that I've got the top on here. You can see that it's just a hair off. I can scribe that out, and I might be able to take care of that with just a little bit of a chisel. Everything else pretty much looks good, looks solid all the way around. You know, I don't necessarily know if it was that square to start with, but that's okay. We do what we can with what we have. So, alright, well I'm happy with it. It won't take a whole lot for me to just maybe put a little coping saw on those edges and make them fit. Actually start to seat them all the way into the wood. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to, first of all I'm going to put the nails I'm not using back in the bag, because I know me, and I will start smacking on this thing and nails will go everywhere. You know, I'm not very good at, I really don't know about carpentry, but I do know that everything up here on the top is going to need to sit flush. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my level and I'm going to kind of make sure that the top of this is good and straight. There we go. Before I seat this one nail. And I know there's probably 100 of you out there screaming, "You're not doing it right!" Well, I don't know how to do it right. This is the only way I know how to do it. Alright, so I'm going to go on the other side over here. Get this flush, because like I said, I can take the, I've got a little coping saw, and I can just make it, I can make it square that way. And take it and nail it right here. This is going to be the hard part because as you can see, it doesn't really have a whole lot of support underneath here. And there's a nail that was in there that apparently didn't get a chance to take out. So I don't know what I'll do with it. I'll figure out what to do with it later. Maybe I can be like Mr. Miyagi on the Karate Kid, just smack it in for once. Now it's time to start sanding. Okay, so we've got it sanded, fairly smooth, fairly dust free. We're gonna paint it. Now, a lot of you might be wondering why I'm using a small roller instead of a big roller. As you can see, I've got so many small surfaces, makes it very difficult to get a big roller in there. It's just a lot easier to use a small one. Now we're going to do the other side. Well, you can see that I've changed my pants. It's getting a little too warm out here for long pants. And got me a hat. I left my other hat at school for field day. So let's put a second coat on this baby. I think we'll okay, well, let's work on the drawers again. Rusty's stuck. Let me go get him unstuck. All right, well, probably going to take these inside and let these dry on the inside because I think I'm good as far as I don't need to put another coat on them. And then we'll get this, put another coat on this monster over here, and then I'll be done with it for today. All right, so I've mowed the yard and been spraying some Roundup, and I think I'm going to give it one last coat before I take it inside. And hopefully it'll dry. We'll let it dry for a couple days and then we'll go up and install it in the kitchen. Alright, I'll have to get the rest with the brush. I guess I'll get to go clean up now. As you can see, I have moved from the outside to the inside. Tonight, the Invisible Wife and I are going to have steak and salad. Unfortunately, our grill has died on us. So that means I have to cook the steaks under the broiler in the oven. It's not as bad as you might think. If you don't have a grill, just remember that your broiler is pretty much does the same thing, except instead of working from the bottom up, it works from the top down. There's a little thing that I like to use on my steak that really gives it a flavor to the point where it kind of tastes like it's been done on a grill, and that's used liquid smoke. I do not advocate necessarily any one brand of liquid smoke. The only reason that I use this brand of liquid smoke is because it is the only brand that my local grocery store sells. Alright, so what I like to do is use a little bit of liquid smoke. A little bit of olive oil. And put it in a bowl, and I'll show you how to do all that. I really don't have a big recipe for this. I kind of just dump it all in a bowl and go from there. So here we have our bowl. Here we have our liquid smoke. As you can see, it stubs, like I said before. Or depending on how I edit this, this might be the first time you hear it. It's not that this is my favorite brand. It's the only brand that they sell in my local grocery store, so it's the only one I have access to. It's pretty good. Don't like the mesquite as good as the hickory. I like the hickory a lot better. I guess that's part of being from North Carolina. If I were from Texas, I probably would like the mesquite a lot better, but I just like the North Carolina. I mean, I like the hickory better. I just put a little bit in there, maybe, I don't know. I basically just put a couple of teaspoons of liquid smoke into a bowl. Put some olive oil in the bowl. I always put a little olive oil on my steak. The liquid smoke brand that I use has soy sauce in it, so I don't need a lot of salt, so I'm just going to put a little sprinkling of salt on it here. I really like freshly cracked pepper, so I'm going to put some of that in here. I guess it's time to impress you with those mad mixing skills of mine again. I'm really not mixing all that hard. I don't want all this to splash out. This is, you know, water-based. It'll splash out everywhere. And I think that's pretty much got it all rubbed together. I'm going to put it on the steak and let it marinate for a little bit. And then cook it in the broiler. So as you can see, here's my steak. I've got a lot of good marbling in it. Nice looking ribbons of fat there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply take my liquid smoke and salt, pepper, and olive oil mixture, pour it over the steak. Looks like most of our pepper stayed there. Rub it all around. Preferably you would try to get some not on the white countertop. And I'm going to let it kind of marinate there for a little while, maybe about 5-10 minutes. And while I clean up this little mess right here, and just let it sit there and soak up all those juices. Okay, so one secret that I have, or not, I don't guess it's a big secret, but I don't have like a broiling rack to go inside my oven. What I use, just use a wire cooling rack for bread and a baking sheet. That's it. Put the steaks on there, we're good to go. This one's mine, and no, I'm not gonna eat the whole thing tonight. And this is the Invisible Wife's. We'll set our timer for 4 minutes. And at the end of that, whoo, I'm close up. At the end of that 4 minutes, we'll check them and flip them if we need to. Alright, it's been 4 minutes. Let's take them out so it can look like. Turn them over. They don't look too bad. You can really smell that liquid smoke. We'll set the timer for 4 more minutes. Okay, as you can hear by the timer, it's been 4 minutes. Let's see how they look. Oh yeah, that looks awesome. Let's get you in for a better, closer look. How's that look? That looks awesome, doesn't it? Both of them look great. They got good color. That's going to do it for today. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Remember, you are the light of the world.